It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Hey, today I want to talk about due diligence. You know, I'm looking at my friends in the print sector, those folks that sell and supply print equipment to businesses, and a lot of them are trying to get into IT services, and one of the routes is to go out there and buy up an IT services company. Folks, there's nothing wrong with that approach. You just better make sure you do your due diligence. And as I read some of the articles that are published out there, and I see stuff in social media, and I see people out there buying up IT services companies, it's a little bit scary to me. It's a little bit scary to me, and I want to share why I'm scared. And then I'm going to share with you some of the things that I'd be looking really hard at with these IT services companies that I want to bring into the family and turn my print company into an IT services company. Because I want you all to think about this. The vast majority of IT services companies are lifestyle businesses. We would all agree with that. And I know there's a lot of lifestyle copier dealerships too, but I'm not talking about a lifestyle dealership. Because a lifestyle copier dealership buying a lifestyle IT services company is going to end up in a really bad lifestyle for both people. I'm talking about that dealership that has corporate structure, that has processes, that has discipline, that realizes their core deliverable of print is declining, and they need to go out and substitute that revenue, and they want to move into IT services. And when that company goes out and buys a lifestyle business where the entrepreneur basically just run a lifestyle business, it's going to be really hard for that entrepreneur to come and join a family where there's structure and there's discipline. Folks, this is the reality. I always tell people, you know, I don't mind coming in and consulting with you, working a little while, but you can't hire me because I'm unemployable. I've been on my own way too long, and I can't follow the processes and the policies of your corporate environment. Nothing wrong with that. That's a lifestyle I chose. But those IT providers that you're out there buying, that's their lifestyle too. And so you just have to have some caution with that. So let's jump on the Sharp Interactive board. I'm going to share with you some of the things that I'd be looking for if I was out there buying an IT services company. The first thing is, you know, I forgot to put this on the board, is you got to hire the company. In other words, this IT services company that you're going to buy and make part of your family, the first thing they need to do is they need to sell you an assessment, not do one for free. If they tell you it's free, then don't buy them because they don't value what they do. Okay? Have them sell you an assessment. It's probably $250 a knowledge worker. You know, it could be more. I'm not talking about a security assessment, okay? I'm talking about an IT services assessment. Have them assess your technology infrastructure. There'll be some security components in there, but true security assessments, those are really expensive, and that's a little bit of a different deliverable, so kind of put that up to the side for a second. But if you buy this IT services company and you're not willing to hire them to come in and analyze your own infrastructure, what is that telling you? You know, I mean, quite honestly, if the IT services company that you want to buy has disciplined processes and procedures, they're going to insist that they do an IT service assessment on the person that's going to buy their company. They should insist on that. And by the way, when they insist on that, they're going to insist that you pay them for that. There's no barter going on here. And so the bottom line is that'll tell you right off the bat if you got a disciplined IT services company. Because what IT services company that's out there delivering IT services above and beyond expectations of their end users is going to allow themselves to be bought by a company that has terrible disciplines around technology? Wouldn't you think they would be demanding an assessment? That could be your first clue, right? So it shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be hard to get them to do an assessment on you if you're buying the right company. But find out this MSP's revenue per employee. Is it 250, 300, 100,000? That'll kind of give you a basis of what's going on right there. What's their EBITDA? Is it 15%? 18% is best in class. I know some of you listen to that crazy lunatic telling you that they got people doing 37% EBITDA without substantiating any of it. But that's ridiculous. That's a whole other episode. I already did it. Average reoccurring contract. Are they above 2,000, 5,000, 10,000? Who are they selling? What product are they selling to the end user? Because folks, you don't need to buy another commodity IT business, okay? You already have a commodity print business. Don't add another commodity to it. You're trying to look and move upscale. You're trying to look to add services so you can increase your revenue from the decline of print. What's the project-only revenue? A lot of these independent, little, small lifestyle IT services companies, they'll tell you, man, we did $250,000 last year in project work. You know, yeah, we had to help a customer do this thing, and it was $250,000. We had some staff augmentation involved. It took us about 9 months. And then when you look at the numbers, you realize, well, they paid $300,000 to get the $250,000. So you better understand what it costs them to deliver the project work. And, you know, a lot of the experts will say you shouldn't do any project work to any customer that's not giving you reoccurring revenue. It's wasting your time, especially if you're a small IT services company or a lifestyle IT services company. If you're a huge IT services company and you have a division that does project work, that's a different story. But if you're going to go out there and do project work and you're going to try to sell reoccurring revenue and you're going to bog your techs down and your time down with projects when you should be taking care of the customers that are paying you reoccurring revenue, there'll be a conflict there. You better understand that. What's the hardware revenue against the services revenue? They have 50% hardware, 50% services. What's their mix? Are they leasing equipment? Is all their equipment being sold in the marketplace for cash? Which in a lot of these cases, that's the reality. Which if you're in the copier industry, you get excited about that because then you start thinking, wow, think of all the customers they couldn't sell because they didn't have the cash for the hardware. Since we understand how to finance, we're going to be able to help this IT company out greatly. That's one of the fantasies anyway that we think. There is some merit to that, but not quite to the level that we all dream about it in the document imaging channel. What PSA tool are they using? Folks, if you're going to buy an IT services company and they don't have a PSA tool, when I say a PSA tool, I'm talking about like a ConnectWise tool, right? They're managing their IT business through this tool. I mean, if they're just in QuickBooks and that's it, they got some Excel spreadsheets laying around, run. Okay? And then if they have a PSA like ConnectWise or whatever tool they're using, are they current with the licensing? Have they got all the current updates? I mean, folks, if they're not taking care of their own software and keeping up to date on their own software, how in the hell are they going to keep up to date and current with their customer software? That'll give you a clue. There might be some undiscipline going on there, right? They should be able to answer any question you ask around any kind of cost, going into their PSA tool and finding this stuff. What's the condition of their facility? You know, this is one of my pet peeves. I can't stand a mess. And if you go into a service department of a print dealer and it's a complete disaster, you know what? They're completely disorganized. That's just a fact of life. You can't fake it, okay? You can't be organized in your customer's office and you can't be organized in your processes if what you see with your eyes is a total train wreck. The company's a total train wreck. You go into the IT service department of the company you're going to buy and you go into their shop area, and they're ripping apart computers and there's crap all over the place and there's no disciplines. Well, they're doing that same thing with your customers. Maybe in 1980 and 90 when people built their own computers, I hope there's nobody doing that. But when people built their own computers and stuff, you know, but today, people don't build their own computers in IT services. If they do, you should be running from that particular IT services company. That's just my opinion. Why in the world would you waste time building something that's manufactured? Do they have defined verticals? What's the sweet spot for this IT services company? Are they great in healthcare? Are they great in finance? Are they selling everything to everybody? You know, folks, selling everything to everybody in IT services is not a path that you can go to and really scale that with any kind of sense and making all kinds of money. You know, if you're a huge company, like I think about my friends over at Marco, the folks over at like Impact, there's ways that you can scale different deliverables. But if you're a $5, $8, $10 million copier company, you're trying to get into IT services, you can't scale all that crap. You're not going to be able to sell everything to everybody. You have to pick a sweet spot and go upstream like I talked about in a video earlier last week. Can the proprietor work for somebody else? And this is a big thing, folks. You got to really assess this. Is this lifestyle entrepreneur going to be able to fit in your corporate structure? It's really tough, and very few of them can do it. There's nothing wrong with that as long as you know it, as long as you realize that this person probably within 90 days or 180 days I'm going to have to replace. If you know it going in, it's a little bit easier because you can plan for that. Financials all look good. You think, man, you know, his team looks like a good team. We could do something with this company, but the entrepreneur's got to go. Just make sure you're all aware of that up front. You can tell, folks, trust me, we're all business people. You can tell real quick whether someone's a keeper or someone needs to go. And because they need to go doesn't mean they're bad people. It just means they're the wrong person. They're the wrong person for the right job that you created by coming together. You can buy another copier company, and if it's a disaster, it's no big deal, folks. I want you to think about that. Who cares? You're buying off the top, get rid of all the crap, get rid of all the people that can't perform. It's not a big deal. It's easy stuff. I mean, it's 101, simple. Buying an IT services company that's a big mess doesn't make any sense for a company that doesn't know what they're doing to begin with, and they're only buying the expertise. That's why you're doing it. Don't buy expertise that's a mess just because you got excited. Just because you say, oh man, I can add $1 million worth of revenue and I'll finally be able to put IT after my name on my website. That's not going to do you any favors. Do your due diligence. Don't be an Office Depot and a CompuCon. What do? Spend $1 billion. 5 years later, they sell the thing and they lose $695 million from what they bought it for. You see, folks, even the big people can make mistakes and screw stuff up. It's not just about littler dealers making mistakes and screwing stuff up. It's about either one of those types of organizations not doing their due diligence. Because everybody watching me knows this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see you all tomorrow.